Hello, welcome to another Hazy Tech video. My name is Michael Riley, CTO here, and I was thinking about changing up the video intro, but I guess it's something I believe that we should have planned out a little bit more, don't you think, Dylan?
Yeah, I agree, but it works. So
Yeah, don't fix what ain't broke. I don't. Are you familiar with A Clockwork Orange, Dylan?
I am not.
Okay, well, this is just kind of a play on the title of it. So some homework for you. Uh, Google that later on. But I've titled this video "Migrating from On-Premises to Cloud," or why I should be considering purchasing Microsoft 365 Business Premium License. I mean, really long and drawn out, don't you think?
Yeah, we probably could have shortened that a little bit, but we just want to explain exactly what we're gonna explain.
Right. So, first off, welcome everybody back. Thanks for viewing our content. So we'll dive right into it. What are we talking about? Really, we're talking about today, Dylan, the transition from on-premise to cloud. So, you're a service delivery manager. Speak a little bit more to what we're seeing with our clients now.
So basically, we're transitioning from like that traditional model of setting up multiple servers, like an Active Directory server and all that good stuff. We do have some clients that have some older equipment, and basically they realize, like we don't want servers anymore. We don't want overhead. We just want something simple. So they are switching to more of a cloud environment, and we're seeing that they have, Azure Active Directory, let's say 50 users in Azure Active Directory, and everything is managed out of there rather than some server. On top of that, they also use some file servers, which we then migrate to SharePoint instead. So it's kind of all in the cloud, and they don't have to worry about whenever their servers are up or down.
Right. And exactly. So, looking at some of the use cases, simplifies management, and we'll go into this here in a minute whenever we look at the before and after or what it looks like. The idea is to, make things easier. Also, it helps secure. There's less points of attack. People are tired of VPNing to their environment in order to access resources. This also, in the long term, helps save costs. And most of our, I don't want to say if you have Office 365, you don't have to have Office 365 in order to leverage this. You can have G Suite or whatever your flavor is. A lot of our clients have Office 365, and it comes standard in our managed services offering. So we basically standardize on it. But if you G Suite customers out there, if you are looking to get rid of your directory server on premises, there's still options out there available for you. But let's dive into what it looks like. So this I spun up this video. It's true. It's what an environment looks like for your typical from year 2000 to 2015, 2016, 2018. If you're really cutting edge, and now with COVID, people are really starting to make that transition. So whenever someone asks me, why Active Directory, it's if you're not familiar with it, if you're a business owner, then really what you're looking at is, I always tell people authentication and directions. So, it's who gets access, how am I going to authenticate people? There's authorization baked in there to, they have access to what, and then directions on, so it helps people know where to go. So those are, our top two things that we need to consider whenever we're possibly, whenever you're looking to transition your environment from something that is on-premise. And so your traditional domain controller right here, your IT team or, you guys create users or groups or whatnot. So the way it works nowadays, or in a lot of environments, is they go to this AD sync. So if we're looking at the AD sync, so the whole purpose of this is to synchronize with Office 365. So if I make a change here, then that that is going to ultimately change into Office 365. So the reason why, the most common case, we're looking at like password resets or something along those lines. And so that impacts how they're able to log into their workstation over here when they're on-prem, and then how their email box, they authenticate to that. So there's a little bit of a process in managing a current directory. Something that they would, we would like to streamline a little bit, but so that's one of the reasons why we're looking to to perform that migration to cloud only. So we, instead of having two separate instances of the same directory, you just have one. And in the beginning, without going too far, you used to only be able to make changes on the domain controller. Now, Microsoft has allowed you to be able to write back to your local domain controller. But the best, the best way we have found is to just eliminate the domain controller, at all. And so, that's the first thing we're looking at is authentication. Second thing is, that we're going to need to figure out is directions. So we need to figure out where DNS is going to be hosted at. We also need to consider networking or DHCP, how our clients here on premises are going to be able to get IP addresses. So, and finally, what we're looking at is, group policy. So it's another major selling point for Active Directory is is group policy. So group policy is, Windows way of managing large groups of resources. So be that users, computers, servers, whatever. So in any case, this is a before, and this is assuming, you have Exchange over here. You may have Exchange on premises. A lot of people have migrated their Exchange to Exchange Online. So that your environment may look a little bit different. But for the most part, this is what people are looking at. So, assuming that you guys are making the transition, this is what the environment looks like with a Microsoft 365 Business Premium license. So Dylan, what do you think's changed here? What can you tell?
So from what I can see, it looks like the servers on the on-premises side have disappeared, and it looks like you're just going through a firewall and connecting straight to the cloud.
Right. Yeah. So we've lost a domain controller because we've eliminated one of the points. Right. We also, since we no longer had the domain controller, we also eliminated the AD sync server. So really, where does the authentication go? How does work change? So instead of going to the domain controller, these on-premise servers, or you have servers here, you have workstations here. Now they authenticate over here to Azure Active Directory. If I'm at the house, how do I authenticate? Still same thing. I'm authenticating to Azure Active Directory. So that's where our authentication is taken care of. So our directions. So our directions, we have a couple different ways, depending on your network gear or your firewall at your site. A lot of times your firewall can handle your DNS. If not, then you can always look into Azure DNS. So there's a couple different options. That's honestly the trickiest part. So, but there's multiple solutions for this. So we can cross that bridge, or we can help you cross that bridge if that's a question that you have about your own particular environment that you're unsure of. Finally, networking. So how are we getting IPs on our sites? Again, we're going to look back at our firewall. Most environments, the firewall is going to be capable of performing DHCP services. If you're unsure, let us know. We can work with you on that and find a solution if that is not an option for you. So finally, let's look at group policy, or is there group policy? And the answer to that is there is no more group policy. So we've made a couple different videos on Intune. So if you haven't seen those, check those out. It's Microsoft's cloud version of applying policies to large groups of computers and/or users. So we find that super useful. You know, and there's a couple other added things that you know, you also get with your Office 365 Business Premium license. That includes SharePoint. So one of the largest reasons why people VPN in to an environment is to access a file share. Dylan, I mean, how nice is it to not have to do that?
It's fantastic. Plus, Intune allows a direct integration with SharePoint, so that way it automatically maps onto your computers whenever you log in with your business accounts. So you don't have to worry about all those, you know, mapping drives and where is this and where is that and what kind of permissions. It's all done in the cloud.
Wow, so it's like the experience that, you know, most people are familiar with, right?
Pretty much. It doesn't feel any different for the end user, but it makes it a lot easier for the administrator.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, you know and there you have it. I mean, we've got all our questions answered. You know, 5 years ago, if you would have asked me, you know, I didn't think Azure Active Directory was feature ready, and was prepared to provide all the services that most companies were looking at whenever they were exploring, maybe migrating explicitly to Azure Active Directory. But now, you know, it's come so far, you know, that I think that anytime someone is doing a transition or their domain controllers fail, or they're looking at possibly upgrading, or the hardware is out of warranty, you don't have to do that anymore. You can really simplify the management, simplify, you know, your technology, so you guys, you know, it increases productivity, and then, you know, also simplifies the management as well. So sliding over here to our licensing, you know, I put this together because it seems to be the two most popular packages that people have, right? So most people have the slide on the left, the business standard, or it used to be called Office 365 Business Premium. Microsoft likes to keep everybody confused, so they rename all their cows. It seems like yearly, but you know, it's MSRP 1250. If you buy it through us, it's 1186. Includes your web applications, your desktop clients, includes Teams, includes Office 365 Defender, and your mailboxes. That's the big thing, right? You know, you got your mailboxes, your apps, and antivirus and Teams for it, basically, right? So what's the price difference? You know, not much. You saw that you can eliminate all your hardware on-prem. You can eliminate people having to VPN in. You can really simplify your management. And you know, like I said, it cuts down on those operational costs, right? Or I mean, it cuts down on those capital costs, right? Operational costs are going to go up a little bit different, but if you talk to your finance people, a lot of times people prefer that method. So you know, we're looking at, you know, Microsoft 365, the business premium. I forgot to put premium there, but it's business premium. It's with us, it's 19. If you go buy it directly from Microsoft, it's 20. Includes everything I just listed. Also includes your advanced security. It includes your Azure Active Directory Plan 1 and your Intune. Now, you know, some of the things that we didn't go over with on the previous slide is you get some, you know, some cool things like conditional access. You get your simplified MFA authentication and management. You also get reporting on that as well. So you know, all in all, fantastic license. You know, we over here at Hazy Tech think it's the best license that Microsoft is currently offering. Not only that, we put our money where our mouth is. Whenever anybody signs up with managed services for us, we give them a cal of the business, or the Microsoft 365 Business Premium. So if you're thinking about, you know, if you're needing a technology partner, please, you know, reach out to us. Here's our number here. We have our contact information here. Again, licensing questions, you just want to talk about it. You know, if you're not sure, you know, if your company is ready, you've been thinking about it, you know, we'd love to be a resource. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I want to thank you for the time. Thanks for listening. Dylan, you have anything, any parting words that you'd like to provide?
Not so much. I just want to say thank you again. We appreciate you watching everything, and stick around because we have some more videos coming along.
Awesome. Yes. Yes. We're excited. We love doing this content. So thanks again and have a good one.